Hi, today we're going to look at the Vogue Archive. So I'm on the FIT Libraries Databases page in the V section to see Vogue Archive. And you can see here, we see the Vogue Archive, and I can click the plus sign to learn more about it. And this description will tell me that it contains every issue of Vogue from 1892 to the present, and that each issue can be both browsed and searched, which we'll look at both of those. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this to take a look at it. So here we are in the Vogue Archive. This is by ProQuest, and the only reason that matters is because ProQuest actually offers access to archives that look exactly like this for a number of different magazines that we have access to. So you'll be able to use an archive that looks just like this and follows the same different conventions and approaches for not only Vogue, but also Vogue Italia, Harper's Bazaar, the Women's Magazine Archive, House Beautiful, and Artforum. So this video can help you navigate all of those. All right, so we're in the Vogue Archive right now, and let's start by saying that we just are curious about the current issue. Maybe you want to take a look at what's going on right now. For that, they have the latest issue in this lower right-hand corner box, and I can just click on this to access the full issue. This is going to take me to everything from the issue, starting with the cover. And if I click on that, I now have access to not only look at the cover, but also to browse this issue. And if you go into the Browse This Issue feature of this or any other issue, you're able to then page through by clicking this plus button. And you're going to see the full page of each page of the magazine in full color, including not only covers and articles, but also advertisements, tables of contents, everything. So let's say that this was a useful advertisement for a project I'm doing. One feature that is really nice in these databases, and in this database specifically, is that you're able to export things as a PDF and also cite them. So if you want to use this in your project, you could save it as a PDF so that you still have access to it. And then you can come over here and click this button that says Cite and has a quotation mark. And this is now going to give you the citation for this piece of the magazine. Now, you're always going to want to proofread to make sure that it looks correct, but if you're happy with it, you can copy it and now paste it into an assignment. If you want a different citation style, you can use this drop-down menu to select whatever you're using for your class. So let's go back to the homepage and look at other ways we can navigate if we're interested in older issues of the magazine. There are two major ways to navigate. The first is through the search. You can use either a basic or an advanced search, but for now, I'm going to use a basic search and just search for the term denim. Now you'll see that it's going to give me some suggested searches I could run, but I'm going to stick with this very basic one and hit enter. So this is going to give me 2,416 results related to denim from Vogue across the years. If I'm interested in the top one, which they think is the most relevant to my search, I can simply click to see that immediately. Once I'm in a particular page, I can then click to zoom in if I would like. And there's the download option here as well. And you'll see that citation feature is still here. They also have suggested sources that they think you might find useful since you're looking at this. If I go back to the results, maybe this didn't seem that relevant to me. Well, I can narrow down. 2,416 is a lot to go through, but I can narrow down in a lot of different ways. I can narrow by publication date, document type, section editor, fashion item, company or brand, the person in the picture as well as the photographer or illustrator, the material being used, and the designer's name. One of the things that I use most frequently is this navigate by date range. And it's really nice because this little visualization gives you a sense of how frequently a term is used in different decades. How many times is Vogue talking about denim? So I can come and hover over and see what years we're talking about. And if I'm looking specifically for items from the 80s, all I need to do is click, and now all of these are from the 80s. I could further refine to a specific year within the 80s if I would like. Or I could add other things. So I could say that I also want advertisements only. And now I'm getting advertisements from 1984 and nothing else. And all of them are going to mention denim. It's going to retain that initial search that I did. Another way that you can use this is by browsing issues. So for that, I'm going to click on Browse Issues. And now I can go by year to browse an entire issue. So I could say if I'm interested in the early 2000s that I want 2000 to 2009, and then I could specifically look to 2003, for example, and maybe I want the September issue from that year. Now if I say Show Contents, I'm going to have everything from that issue readily available. And just as with the other issues we've looked at, I could browse this issue if I would like. So that makes it nice and easy. Another nice thing is if I go back to the issue as a whole, I could also narrow down by the type of content in the issue. So if you're specifically looking for features or advertisements, you can limit by that if you would like. So as a reminder, this same layout is going to be used for many different magazines. So if you want to browse Vogue, Vogue Italia, Harper's Bazaar, House Beautiful, Artforum, or the Women's Magazine Archive, they're all going to look basically the same and work in the same ways. And these are all really great resources when you are looking for the history of coverage of these topics over the years. I hope that you'll definitely take time to check them out.